This week I was at work in my favourite place. We had a mice problem and we had a burst water pipe. I'm the Dairy Girl, this is episode 94, let's go. We are on Tuesday morning. I had a day off yesterday with sick kids. You know how it is, January's the worst time when all the kids are back at school. So yeah, back at it now. I'm in the lorry, we've got new batteries. Dad put the new batteries, what I got last week, in it for me over the weekend, and he's left no fuel in it for me, ideal. But I'm just ready to go and pick up the roller and my machine, so let's go get it done. First things first, I'll go and get these two started to make sure they start. They should do, but you know what my luck's like. There we are, they're both up and running. I'm just going to load my digger up first and just give this a quick roll over, nothing too much on it, but just to tidy it up a little bit. But I'll get that machine on first, or out the way at least. Just a quick 10 minutes on that there, and now get this roller on. This is the worst bit, try and get this on the bloody lorry, but let's give it a try. Hopefully it's not as bad as last week because it's not as icy. Sake. I can't get in the middle, it keeps throwing me to one side. Just camber the road. Oh, stop throwing me to the side. F*** off. I think I'll get it this time. Let's see. Jesus. What a job. To be fair, that was probably my own fault because I didn't bother shifting the bucket of the dipper, and that was in the way, so I couldn't get a straight run at it. But it's just so slidey, that metal upon metal. And there's obviously wood there as well, but just that first wee bit. My bum's now soaking too because I didn't put a jacket there. Right, this right forward chained on, floss my gloves and get the machine on. I need to be as far forward as I can to allow the digger to get on as well without damaging anything up front here, all the chains. Get that bracket turned off. Let's go and get my machine on now. Ooh. And I know what you're probably thinking if you put the blade at the ramps then you'll get more room. I would, but then I'd never get my rotator and that tucked down nice and neatly. Oh, and it has to be tucked well down for the bridge. Thankfully I've got no other buckets or anything, I've just got this one, which makes it a little bit better. As always, I'll get the chains and that on first and then swing the ramps up and then swing the arm round. It's an absolute nightmare doing this part myself because I can't actually see because it's sitting so far back, but anyway, I'm sure I'll not be stuck. But let's get these chains on here. This button keeps jamming on. It's just this kind of weather with all the salt and grit and shit off the road basically getting stuck in there and jamming it. You really need to get that sorted next time it goes in. Happens every year. And I think that's what's been jamming on and drained the batteries as well. There we are. Now this is a tricky bit that I can't see when I try to put this down between the arms, but let's give it my best shot. Now obviously I can't see a thing. It's totally my blind spot. I can see my rams now on my steel wrist. And then I go and put this down here so I can see my rams for the steel wrists are safe. And then in a wee second, that's everything as tight as it can go. And now this is a bit I can't see my dipper on the the ramps. I think it should be fine there, but I'm going to just double check because I don't want to cause any damage. Plenty of room. It's all the hoses and that coming off. I'd hate to catch one on something so silly like that. And then the problem I have here as well actually is a bloody bucket. Is that going to touch the back of them ramps? It's going to be close. I can't see anything to my right hand side at all. And I know that bucket's sitting a little bit squint. So now I can see both ramps. I know my dipper's clear. How's the bucket looking? I'm alright? Gonna have to move them bits of wood anyway. That's where they usually sit when it's sitting further forward. Yeah, it's pretty tight, huh? It's pretty tight, but at least we're good to go. Just need to throw one chain over that roller, then that's us. Just one thing I've got to be wary of is the boom lower than the cab, and that's where we're going under the bridge. If the cab's been under a million times, the boom, it looks higher on the camera here, but I think it's fine. I think it's lower. Them beacons are coming off of anything, so we're all good. That's us. Look at my hair's an absolute riot. That's my natural hair, it's just curly, but I'm trying to wear it more curly. It's just an absolute bomb site, especially when I'm trying to do stuff like that. It's all over the place. Right, that's us now. Straight out to the yard, try and get hold, no, not straight out to the yard, stop and get fuel on the bloody red. Let's go and fuel up. Hello?
Hiya, how's it going?
That's me all loaded anyway. They don't have the 2x2 slabs until tomorrow morning. So you want me just to wait till tomorrow morning and go in, or do you want to go and phone Juicens or something?
No, I just got Juicens 6.5. I don't need them till Thursday anyway, Friday anyways.
Could I not just go tomorrow morning and get them all? It's just so much easier getting it all from the same place than trying to go into Juicens with the lorry.
That's fine, that's fine.
Rightio.
Right, cheers, lad.
Bye. Right, I'll go and phone the guy back at Base and see the thing is, see where we're at the town where we get all the stuff from. Getting your lorry in any of these places is just an absolute nightmare. I'd rather just go to one place and get them, but Dad said see if he can just deliver it out to the yard tomorrow, which of course would save me having to go all the way back in. So I'll go and give John a phone back and come up with a plan. If not, it'll be me going in first thing in the morning, which gives me nothing. I'm not saying nothing to do because there is plenty to do, but I'll probably spread more planings out at the yard, and because we've got the roller there, give it a roll. I'm actually looking into. I never usually tell you anything until it happens, but I'm looking. I mentioned it last week, I think, about buying a van. So I've been messaging Andrew from Loch Shield Motors, who we got the Ranger from, and I was up there just before Christmas getting it serviced. Told him what I'm after, so I'm just trying to make my mind up and see if I want a brand new one or go for something a little bit older. Initially I was going to go for something a little bit older, but any vans that I'm seeing kind of round about the area, I've got such high miles on them and they're still quite a bit of money, whereas if I go for a new one, it's still quite a lot of money, but then I know it's not done anything and I know the history of it. I want to convert it into a camper van, and it's like, this is when I wish I had it now, when I've got a wee bit of spare time, an hour here and there, that I can just jump in and do it. Have everything ordered, everything sitting there, I know exactly what I'm doing. That would be ideal. But yeah, anyway, enough of that now. Just now let me go and phone John and see what the crack is. That's me just arriving back to the yard. Let's go transfer the weight in this load to turn up here. Not that I'll be able to do much transferring with that machine sitting where it's sitting, but it just saves the driveway a little bit. Right, let's go for a quick tip and get this off. Oh, the ground is so spongy with all that frost coming out of it. Look at that. There we have it. That is me all done for the day. I'm going to get a lift back now with my mum to pick up my... I'm going to get a lift to get my pickup with my mum. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Right, I said you'd see me tomorrow, but I just had a call from Cammy from Scottish Water and said that that pipe that we put in, the mile-long pipe that we just finished there just before Christmas, is losing some water. And instantly I was like, you are joking me, because the owner phoned me last night, because we've still got to put stops in at every join, which we can do, we know where the joins are, kind of thing. And I said, oh, no leaks, everything going good. He goes, yeah, but you never say that because something will happen. And then I seen Scottish Water coming up on my phone today. I was like, oh my God, you are kidding me. I've just totally jinxed myself here. So what's happened with that really cold weather we had, really cold for Scotland, -9, 10 we had, and that's quite cold for our area. They've had so many burst pipes all over, like ceilings coming down in houses, so they're trying to track down where they're losing the water from, and they turned off our 2 stopcocks, and this track's a mile long, I think I said that. There's 2 pipes in the track, but they said they're losing a fair bit from ours, the track, so they've turned them off. They were totally fine with it, and I was just like, oh, just turn them off because they're not actually getting used at the moment. They're both on taps outside the houses, they've not been plumbed into the houses. So he's turned that off, absolutely fine with it. But I was like, I can't let this settle, because if we've got to try and find this on a mile-long track, it's going to be a disaster, like literally disaster, because it all runs into sand and gravel. So you would be doing very, very, very well to find it. Luckily there's quite a bit of water they're losing for us, which hopefully means it's just, there was one bit exposed at the back, what we didn't backfill, of a boundary box. Now I'm actually hoping and praying so much this is just what it is. So I'm just here to turn the water back on, go along, and honestly I'm praying that this water is peeing out this boundary box, because if it is, it's going to be such a simple fix, and if it's not, we have a real issue on our hands. We reckon this might be it, because it's been on for 3-4 weeks now and there's been no reports or issues, but it could just be because no one's really noticed it up until now. So here's 2 boxes, probably need something to lift them up. I'm not going to get that one. No, grab something here. But yeah, it's not what we need. I phoned Dad and I was like, I've got really bad news. And he's like, what is it? And I was like, Cammy, Scottish Water. And he's like, oh, is there a leak? And it was Graham who was doing it with me as well. So I've been in touch with him. Might get it with them keys. I've been in touch with Graham, and thankfully he's off for the rest of the week so he can come help me. But I'm praying that we don't need any more help. So let's see how this goes. I forgot how far down they were. They're quite far down. I'm going to have to lie down on my belly to open these. Oh, don't drop my keys down there. It's the last thing I want. I'm doing this. Oh. Oh. One's harder than the other here. Right, that's them both back on. Let's go along to this boundary box, and I hope it's coming out. Moment of truth. Oh no. Ah. No, 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 no. That's leaking water there. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that! Yes! That is all I needed. That is all I bloody needed. I cannot tell you how relieved I am at that. Thank. That is all it is. Look at it. It's dripping out like something else. Yes! So bloody happy that's it. That makes me super excited. Right, that's all I needed to know. No disasters, no emergency call-outs for Graham. Just get this bit tidied up. The reason this bit wasn't backfilled was because they were waiting for the electrician, because it needed to get a cable into it, because it's getting all wired up, like a pump and all that to go up. So this is why it was all left exposed like this, for that. The customer himself tried to put that over, but that's going to be doing nothing, especially just with it. Frost would be going in underneath and stuff, but it's right at that join. It's this join here. Oh no, it's not that, it's that join. But yeah, that's fine. Absolutely delighted that is it. Thank God. Right, see you guys tomorrow now. Right, let's talk tiltrotator. If you guys have been following for a while, you know that I've always, for the last 2 years, I've had a tiltrotator on. I've got a steel wrist, a brand new steel wrist X12 on my new KX85-5, and beforehand on my 80-4 Kubota I had a different brand. I had a rototilt. So I have got a little bit of experience with them now. Prior to that, we always had the tilty bucket, so I was always used to tilting, and we had grabs and stuff like that. But having the tilt and rotate in the one, in the cab, doing it all is just like a total game changer. This is slightly different than my rototilt setup. I went for a direct mount on this one, meaning it's fitted directly onto the end of my dipper and I can't take it off. It cannot be removed, it's stuck there forever. And the reason I went for this was because when I had my rototilt on my old machine, I had 2 hitches. So the reason I would have 2 hitches is so I can knock it off for doing dig deeper and dig big trenches, or if I had a breaker on it. I have never ever had a breaker on my old machine and never ever plan to have one on this machine. You can put a breaker onto them if you want, but for me personally, I just don't see why you'd want to. Why would you want to have a breaker this way, that way, that way, that way? Like, you just don't want to do it. In the 2 years that I had a tilt rotator before, I never had a breaker on it, and that is such a good selling point. So when I sold machine, if you say it's got 1400 hours on it, it's never had a breaker on it, that means it's pretty bloody good. So yeah, the reason that I have a tilt rotator is because I'm here by myself all the time. Like, I don't have a banksman, I don't have a groundsman, so I'm doing it all myself. And these are basically like a ground person for you. So it's so efficient for me, and it saves us money, of course, because that runs hand in hand with each other. I found it really handy when we're doing like foundations and houses, sitting in one place, can pull both this way, can twist it that way. Digging under cables as well with the longer nose buckets, like you can go right under or spin it round and dig that way without having to drop the bucket, spin it round, put it on. Another reason why I love tilt rotator is all the different attachments you get for it. Now this one is really cool because I have like, you can just pick it up, don't have to mess about with hoses, just pick it up, put the forks on, I've got a grab over there, whacker you can get for it, like anything, and it just goes straight on it. For the hind dive, say if we're putting a grab on it, we need to put the hoses in. For the tilty bucket, the Kubota, we've got a grab, we've got 2 sets of hoses to put in it, one to spin, one to open. Like, it's just hassle. This is so much easier. There's one thing, I'm not going to go into steel wrist too much in comparisons because every month I'm going to give you something a little bit more about them. But I will say, steel wrist has a 45 more tilt, and that is an absolute game changer. I never knew how much I would needed that until I got it, and I realised having that little bit more tilt than the other brands is like so handy. One thing does mean though that the rams are a bit bigger, so you just have to watch when you're folding it away and stuff because they are a bit higher, but you can't have it always, and I'd much rather have the more tilt. Going back to when I was saying when I'm on sites quite a lot and why it saves time and efficiency is this. I could not have a tilt rotator now without a grab. Like, I just would not have it. Pinchers, grab, claw, whatever you want to call it, in this bit here. See, when I'm in a house site and there's like wood or something lying around, just pick it up and throw it out the way. Putting pipes, like culverts in, pipes in, pick it up with them, place it in nice and gently. Like, they are lifesavers for me. I actually couldn't do it without it. I couldn't actually do it without the whole tilt rotator. And you get a lot of people saying, oh, like that's, anyone can operate a tilt rotator, there's no skill in it, blah, 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 all the old days. And there's so much stigma around that. And for me personally, it's no. Like, to operate that thing, you need a lot of skill. You're not just doing this and that, you're doing this and that. Like, your 2 thumbs are going, so I've got to tilt on one, rotate another, and the bits for the claw is on my back finger in the cab. But you're constantly thinking. Yes, you have to think when you've got a normal machine and a normal bucket on it, but you're thinking, how could I do this to make it easier with that? And then before you know it, you're sitting in the same place, you're digging lines there, you can dig that way, you can dig that way. It's like endless, like you're constantly thinking of what to do. Dad also loves it, but he just doesn't get in it much. Once he gets a hang of it, he loves it. And again, with the different attachments with the grab and all that, it's just total game changer to our business and what we do, to be fair. I also find in the UK and certainly European, Scandinavian countries, every machine has a rototilt fitted. Over here in Scotland, there's not so many. They are certainly coming through more and more. Give it a couple of years ago, I could have named everyone locally who had one. Now, probably can't name them all or know exactly what they've got because they are getting more. And European, Scandinavian, every machine has them on, or like most of them. Whereas in America, they're not so much, they're not so popular, but give it time, like it will come. They're super good. But yeah, that's my reasons why I have a tilt rotator. Efficiency, accuracy, saves time, saves money, goes with efficiency, doesn't it? If you get any more questions about tilt rotator or steel wrist, put them in the comments below and it'll give me a chance to speak about it a little bit more and tell you a little bit more about it. We're on Thursday morning. First thing I'm doing is heading over to make sure this water's off. Last night when I tried to turn it off at the boundary box, wasn't seem to be working properly. The one at the roadside there. Graham went down last night to see if he could get it off and we were kind of struggling. But there's another boundary box at the house as well, so I'll just turn that off just to make sure it's all off. I've sent the customer or voice note of what had happened, because he's not actually there just now, although there's builders and everything there, just to let him know what had happened. We hadn't actually done that extra connection into the tank, that was the plumber's, but it looks like the frost has got it. So I'll turn it off just now and hopefully it'll get fixed. It looks to me like the connection's not just been put in tight enough, or it's not been sealed properly as well, and then when the frost has got it, it's blown it basically. So yeah, go and make sure this water's turned off, there's nothing coming out of it, and turn it off for another day's job. It looks like it did work because there's nothing coming out of that at all now. So it must have went off. What had happened was the turning bit was just like spinning on itself. Dad said sometimes they do that, but it will be off. So that's good. That means that's all done until we get that fixed and tidied up, and there's going to be no water leaking. There's a few houses along the road, holiday house and stuff, where they were left obviously over that cold spell, and there's been burst tanks and stuff, so there was water leaking everywhere. And when I spoke to Cammy from Scottish Water last night, he said that wee leak was the least of their worries, and that's all that was wrong with it, because it was pressure tested and it was going for like 4 weeks before the frost came in and all these other bursts happened. So we're all good, thankfully. I was totally panicking last night when we got that call. That is something I wouldn't even know where to start. It'd be the whole line having to get digged up again to try and find it. It'd be a nightmare. But anyway, that's good news. That's all turned off. Heading back out to the yard and getting the lorry now. Right, that is me just about here to go and pick up this stuff from Build Base, or Hughes and Grays, whatever it's called now. Getting a few ton bags, slabs, cement, that kind of stuff. It's a bit of a bottleneck to get in with the lorry, but I'm hoping it's quite quiet at this time. Not much room for too many lorries or cars in there. I'm sitting straddling 2 lanes here because the way I'm turning in, you've got to watch your tail swing. Something would be going up the outside of me and I'd end up ripping the side out of them. Well, their lorry's out, so that's a good start. Oh yes, it's such a quiet yard. Exactly what I want. I've phoned ahead and they've got everything sitting waiting, so that's even better. John actually phoned me at 7:30 this morning to let me know that the slabs, because the reason I didn't come yesterday because the slabs weren't in, but they phoned me to tell me that at 7:30 this morning that the lorry was there and my slabs were there, so that is absolutely ideal. I think I was going to park up this way and then you can load it like that. Right, let's go and see them. So here we are. It was Build Base, that's why it's red, but it's now Hughes and Grays. These people and PDM, these people always get taken over by different companies. So let's go and see if they've got my line. We get some straps over this now. Graham just came there and I was trying to ask him to come help me, but he wasn't for it. So it looks like I'll have to get on with it myself. Don't know who rolled that up. Me and Graham were just discussing that water burst last night and how thankful we both are that it wasn't the track. Like, honestly, hopefully we hear no more about it. When I was driving in, I seen Scottish Water, another job, they're having so much trouble just now with bursts and stuff just after that cold snap. The worst thing about strapping down sand, tighten it, and then same with hay and stuff like that, and tighten it again. Because obviously it moves so much, and I'll probably have to stop a little bit out the road and tighten them again, just with the movement. That bag was starting to spill out there. It's the last thing I want, losing a ton bag of sand on the way out the road. There we are, job done, all strapped up. Were you going for Graham there? Were you going for him? Rascal. We are on Thursday morning and I'm heading back up my favourite place in the whole entire world. Back up the Glen. Now, I done this road in October, November time last year, and the Takeuchi's been sitting up here since, because we maybe not have finished it. But I'm heading back up to here today, going to meet the keeper who looks after the place. There's a bit needing done just outside the river. It must be getting washed away. I honestly don't know. The reason it's been left up here was because there's a cattle grid being put in, but we just haven't had the time to do that bit yet. And then I need to fix the braes on the way out. So we're hoping to get the cattle grid done soon. Honest to God, it's so bad. But that's life. I've been so busy elsewhere, and yeah, it's just been put to the back of the pile. But anyway, going to head on up here, and hopefully Alistair's about to show me what's needs done today. If not, I'm going to go and check and make sure the Takeuchi starts, make sure the mice haven't been at it, and make sure everything's okay. So let's go on in here. It's really choppy out there today, look at it. Very choppy out there today. I've taken my swimming stuff with me because I'm hoping to jump in on a cold dip up here, but we'll just see how it goes, because as I said, the wind might cut me in two. I'll be a wee bit more sheltered up the river right enough. But yeah, let's go on and up here and hopefully we meet Alistair. So I just met the Alistair when I was driving in the road there. He's away out to something. I was hoping to meet you but not heading out the way. But he said he's going to be back in after lunch, and he's given me another job to do, which is what happens when you leave a machine up somewhere for so long. There's always something else to do, which is absolutely fine because it gives me something to do while he comes back up and shows me what he needs done in the riverside. So when he's going up here, he goes, there's going to be rocks needing shifted before you get your lorry up there. I was like, did you not move them by hand? Just having the crack with them. So there's been a little slip on the hill here, and he did that, in fact, try and move them. But as you can see, they're quite big rocks. There's that big one there, which will be fine. You'll get past that one, but you will not get past that one there. You can hardly get past with the pickup. They had to shift it, drag it a little bit to get past it with the pickup. So we'll need to get that shifted before we get the lorry in. It's right on the road there, and that is just 50 metres up from where the landslide was. There's a big landslide here in October 23, but we had to come up with an emergency and clear the road for them. It was just right here, all down the hill there. You can see the aftermath of it. It wiped this whole bit of road out. So yeah, we'll need to get that shift before we get the lorry in, but I'm heading on up here to now. I've just realised I can't show what I'm actually going to do because there'll be some Karens that will jump onto me. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll see you later on later on in the afternoon. Oh, it's absolutely freezing. But because Alistair's going to be a wee while, I've decided to go for a swim. So I'm just going to get changed and jump in. That is all I'm doing there, it's freezing! Well, that was absolutely freezing, but also feels so good for it, and it feels so good for taking 10 minutes out of my day to go and do that for myself. I absolutely loved it. Let's go up this glen now and see if this Takeuchi will start. So here's the machine here. Look how much the buckets creep round and how much full of water it is. Nice, it's been sitting for so long. Let's go see if it starts. At least I left some fuel in it for myself. It's at half. No bother. Get that heating up for sitting in here. I'll just give that machine a wee 5-10 minutes to heat up just because it's been sitting for so long. It won't do any harm. I'm kind of waiting for Alistair anyway. I've got that wee job to do for him. I'm up at the bothy now here, and the road up to it has a few potholes. Now he's not asked me to sort them, but like, I can't track over the holes and not fill them in while I'm here. So I'll just do that while I'm waiting for him, and I've thawed out a little bit now, thankfully. Yeah, this is my most peaceful place in the whole world. Like, no signal, nobody around about me, just deer, stags. That's it. There's like the lodges and bothies and all that down there as well, but they are like holiday houses, I guess, for the state. And I don't see any cars, so nobody's even here. Like, I'm literally in the hills, in the middle of nowhere. And as soon as I come up here, I just feel instant, like, peace and relief. Like, no signal. It's great. Like, I obviously got a few messages just before I lost signal and I can't reply to them and they can't get me and it's bliss. But people know where I am. If like I don't come back or if anything happens, they can come to me or send a dove over to me. But I'll just never ever ever tire of this place. If I could live up here, I would, put it that way. It's just such a safe place. I love it so much. Also, while we're just having a wee chat, I want to thank every single one of you that went and watched Johnny Boy's first YouTube video. He was over the moon with it. The first one got removed, unfortunately, because I said it was for kids, with him being a kid. But YouTube didn't like that, because obviously it was a young guy running machinery or whatever. So yeah, thank you all so much. You made this day, and we will get another one up soon. I don't know when enough, but we will. We're just trying to figure out what you can do next. You absolute nightmare. I just realised there has been mice in this machine. I knew that was going to happen, but thankfully it started okay. So hopefully they've not chewed away anything else. It's quite a problem that we have when we leave machines. Oh my god, look at the seat. The wee bees. It's such an issue we have when the machines are on the hills. We field mice coming in for a little bit of heat. When the machines are parked up, straight away, as soon as we go away from them, they'll be in there to get heat. Or we don't. I have been eating that machine when I was up here because I was tracking for miles out. We try not to eat in them or anything, just because that gives them something to go in to get, really. What a nightmare. I hope there's no other damage done to it apart from the dipper's bed and the seat. Come on, Index. You've been chewing your seat. You're going to have a right field day in here, smell them. Look at all the foam down there just chewed to bits and shredded. Ah! Why am I getting the heebie-jeebies as if one's going to jump out at me? But they've destroyed that. There's like literally a hole in there what they've been munching at. Look at that. Wee rascals that they are. They've even chewed away, like, look, I left some chewing gum here. They've even been chewing away at that, look. This machine is actually minging right off with dust. They'll chew anything they can. They really will. Right, let's go and get some road done. It's cold in here. Heat me up. There is a bridge up the top there, but I'm just going to go over the river. This is where we used to have to go over when the bridges weren't strong enough. I'm just going over the river only because I'm closer to it. Doesn't really make a difference which way I go, but I'll just go over here because I am here now. You can see the road, it's like a ford over there for getting the bigger stuff over. So yeah, let's just go over here. Let's move this big stone out of the way as well. It's right in the middle of my tracks, but it's fine. Just in case something else comes over which is a wee bit lower, pick up or something. Alistair came up there just when I started doing that road. He was going to show me the bit was needing done. His wee dog jump out only had 3 legs. I didn't realise that it had fallen down one of the cliffs, gorges up there. In the summertime they were doing fencing and went and chased something. He wrecked a pine marten and it fell through the heather and fell 100 metres down into the gorge. It's a beautiful wee dog as well. And it was left there overnight. Then they had to get the mountain rescue to come and helicopter it off airlift it off the hill back to him, and took it straight to the vets and it got his leg chopped off. But he said it doesn't stop it doing anything, it still goes away stalking with him and everything like that. But what a shame for the poor wee thing. Dipper doesn't go out my sight far. So I'm just going to do these couple of holes down there and out towards the bridge, and then Alistair will show me what else needs done. So just letting the water off the road here, and just filling in the potholes like I was doing before. They're not too bad, to be fair. that is all the potholes done in this section. I'll do the ones up to the bothy in a minute, but let's jump out and see what job we've got to get doing here at the riverside. So I'm just tracking down to the riverside now to do a wee ramp down to the river. So that's not too bad. I'll just get that done, and then that'll be me done up here until we come to do the cattle grid. God, is that soft there? It's not too bad, it's fine. But yeah, I'll probably just trying to figure out the best bit to do it. Probably here somewhere. We'll be fine. How much the bank's eating away at everything, the water's eating away at the bank with the river. There's so many places like that. So I seen someone on another Instagram or TikTok or something saying from down to England, saying how bad it's all the erosion and like all that the river needs is dredged down the middle, like stuff thrown to each side and the river to take its course. Instead of the river being the normal size that it would be, is spread so wide and eating away at like the banks everywhere. All it needs is a dozer up the middle of it, basically doze it all to the side, but we're not allowed to do that, unfortunately, which just does not make any sense whatsoever. It's happening so bad there as well. But yeah, I'll make a wee bit here, probably because it's quite shallow, so they can get over the other side here on the Argo and stuff, whatever they need. It can also be quite dangerous when it does undermine like that and you go too close in the digger or anything bigger. Catch you out a little bit. So we've got a couple of these big stones out the way as well. I put a few of the bigger stones down the bottom. That should hopefully stop it gonna get washed away too much. It will get washed away eventually, right enough. Here we are. That'll make it easy enough for them to nip down there now if need be. Well, that is me all done for the day and just in time because the fuel light is flashing whenever I go flat or up the way the red light's coming on. So yeah, that's a wrap for the day. I will see you tomorrow. We are on Friday morning. This morning we were going to go and do that job that I got the ballast and all that for the other day, but we aren't. Going to spend a couple hours in the office catching up on some paperwork, and then McRae's, who you'd probably seen in my videos throughout the year, we get rock and stuff off them. They're a quarry, and they've invited us to the quarry today because they've got their new concrete plant thing up and running. So it's like the launch of that in our local quarry. So we're going to, me and Dad are both going to go to that. That's why we've kind of taken the day just to have an office day so we can go and attend that. It's good to support the locals and see them doing well. They're absolutely massive nowadays. They've really have taken over everything. But yeah, it's who we get our stuff from. So it's nice that we've been asked. So we will go and see them. So yeah, that'll be quite good to see. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of people to catch up with. Look at all this machinery. All the vans. What an actual show they put on here. Dad? Well, that is us back home and back into doing the paperwork. I actually didn't get many videos once we were there because I ended up just chatting to people that I haven't spoken to in a while. Scott, one of my friends from school, he runs a machine, and then just all the boys and stuff like that. Like there's so many people there who I know, but hats off to McRae and what they've done there with that plan and all their machinery and stuff like that. From what they've came from to what they've got now is in such a short time is crazy, and it's so good to see someone local-ish doing well as well. So lovely wee day. Had some lunch, had a nice curry, it was beautiful. Coffee, catch up with the boys, and yeah, now back to dig my head in paperwork for the next few hours. But don't worry, I'll see you guys tomorrow. We are on Saturday morning, and this morning I've got a little easy shift. The ballast what was on from the other day is all loaded up. That's doing Hitachi on, we've got pipes on, and there's a mixer up the back also. So this is going up to the job. Dad and Millie are going to do the pads today, so let's go. So I also have some exciting news. I bought a van. I went for a VW Crafter, and my plan is to convert it into a camper van. So that's really exciting. It's kind of a wee bit out of the blue. Like I knew I always wanted one, but I didn't think I was just going to do it like I did. But anyway, I did. I'll either be here next week or the week after. Obviously I'm in no rush for it, but I'm buzzing to get it. So that's an exciting little news for a Saturday morning. I went for a grey one as well. I was going to do white, but then decided to go for grey just to change it up a little bit. So I've not actually seen proper pictures of the one that I'm actually getting, but I've seen the brochure and stuff, and it looks so good. But yeah, Dad's away up front with the pickup with Millie, and I'm just dawdling up this road, just take my time. It's fairly busy. I'm hoping that I'm not going to stay here. I'm just hoping for a tip and then go. I've got some stuff to do. Usual mum stuff, shopping, and I am actually going down to London, my first time ever, on Tuesday morning, home Wednesday morning, for a few meetings and stuff, so that'll be really cool. So I need to get organised for that as well. Just keep an eye on these straps because then ton bags move so much. Just make sure everything's tight. That is me all done. A quick tip there, and that's an easy wee Saturday shift. Just an hour drive back home, and that'll be me. Yeah, but anyway, that is me all done for the week. As always, thank you for the likes, comments, and subscribing. Make sure you come back next week, and maybe that's the week I get my new van. Who knows? Come on, boy. Are you coming? Come on. It's a hard shift, isn't it, wee man? It's a hard shift. Oh, wrong side of the digger. You need to stay and leave the lorry and don't jump up the door and lock it. Oh, you can't lock me out in this one, that's fine.